They say that one day, the great wolf was standing by himself and crying. In his sadness, loneliness, and pain, he had lost his eyes and was blind. And as the great wolf stood there crying, his little mouse brother came. Little Mouse looked up and felt very sad to see this great wolf crying. Little Mouse was very tiny, but he asked the great wolf,
"Why is it that you cry?"
And the great wolf said,
"In my sadness and my loneliness and pain, I have lost my eyes, and I am blind."
Without having to think, because of his teachings, Little Mouse took his own eyes out and reaching up gave them to Great Wolf. Great Wolf took the Little Mouse eyes and put them in, and at once began to feel powerful because he could see again. In fact, he almost forgot his little mouse brother standing there blind, but he looked down and said, crying,
"Little Mouse, why did you give me your own eyes?"
And Little Mouse said,
"I realize before all the universe and before the Great Spirit, I am very humble, and I've always been taught to give my very best to my brothers and sisters."
In his tears, though, he could still remember a truth. He remembered that there was a sacred lake where anyone can make offerings to the Creator, the Four Directions, and Mother Earth. What we ask will come to pass, will come true if only we have the patience to wait. So he took his little mouse brother by the hand, and the great wolf and Little Mouse began their journey. Finally, one day when it seemed that they could not go another step, when they had been through many sufferings and problems, they came to the top of the mountain, and Great Wolf looked over and down below and saw the most beautiful lake he had ever seen. He looked at that beautiful lake and he said,
"Oh, Little Mouse, if you could only see the beauty of the lake below us. We have finally come to the end of our journey."
And he took Little Mouse brother by the hand, and they walked down the edge of the lake. There, Great Wolf called upon the powers of the universe, upon the eagle people, upon the hawk people, and the thunderbird people, offering tobacco to all the powers of the sky, and called upon the power of the west, whence come darkness and other powers, of the north, whence come the white snows, of the east, whence comes the red sunrise, and of the south, where the yellow desert lies. He called to the Creator of all good things. He called upon the powers of Mother Earth to help his little mouse brother. Then he said to his little mouse brother,
"The Creator, the Great Spirit, speaks to each one of us in his own way and in our own time. Now I am going to leave you alone."
So they hugged each other, and they cried, because they knew they would not see each other for a while. Great Wolf left. Little Mouse stood by the edge of the lake, and all of a sudden Little Mouse heard a voice.
"Little Mouse brother, jump.
So he jumped.
Jump higher.
The voice said. So he jumped higher.
Jump higher.
The voice said again. So he jumped higher.
Jump higher."
And he jumped higher until Little Mouse felt like he was floating in the air. The voice then said,
"Little Mouse brother, because you gave your very best to your brothers and sisters, because you realized your insignificance before all of creation, from now and evermore, you will be the great eagle that will fly high above the people."